Mookie, you ever wonder what joy is? And is joy the same as happiness? And how do you find joy? And what brings you joy? Well, I'll tell you what brings me joy is tiki and tiki culture. Today we're gonna delve into Ingrid Fetell Lee's book Joyful. She has 10 aesthetics of joy, things that bring you joy, and how your brain works and tells you to be joyful. And today we're going to work on number 8, magic, and we're going to see how this applies to tiki culture. So check it out. When it comes to magic and how it applies to tiki culture, for me, the thing that comes to mind is the making of the drinks or the bartenders who make these wonderful cocktails. They're almost like these concoctions that a witch might make, or a witch's brew. This is from the Rumpus Tiki Room in Budapest, Hungary. It made my top 5 list for tiki bars. But getting back to the tiki cocktails, there's just something magical, especially here at the Rumpus Tiki Room. They make these wonderful, aesthetically pleasing drinks. They have not just the smoke, but the garnishes and the presentation. It really truly is magic to me, and I just love the presentation. And this particular tiki bar is just amazing. The staff is so friendly. I got to meet the owner. They call her Tiki Mama, and her sister actually makes these mugs handmade. Magic and the permission to believe in it is one of the true joys of childhood. We spend our early years steeped in fairy tales and fantasy films that brim with mermaids, unicorns, and superheroes, strange creatures, and characters with extraordinary abilities. By the time we are adults, we are expected to keep both feet firmly planted in the rational world and to leave magic behind entirely. Yet we don't lose our sense of enchantment. With few exceptions, magic in modern culture appears as juvenile and primitive or dark. A bright, benevolent, mature aesthetic of magic is missing from our adult lives. Tiki culture and magic seem to intermingle in popular culture. There's many examples of this. The first one that comes to mind is the Brady Bunch episode. Now, you'd have to be of a certain age to remember this, but the Brady Bunch went to Hawaii. Everyone in the family is excited when Mike tells them that his company is sending them to Honolulu for a business trip, and he is able to bring them along, all expenses paid. Their vacation starts off well as they take in the many sights of Oahu, but things start to change when the boys accompany Mike to the construction site. There, Bobby finds a small Tiki Idol, which he decides he will keep as a good luck charm. What Bobby is unaware of is that the construction workers earlier saw the idol and recognized it as a native taboo idol of evil to anyone who touches it. This was a multi-episode event when the Brady Bunch visited Hawaii for a vacation and a work trip for Mike Brady. So Mike's company sends him to Oahu for a project, and he brings the entire family along for a paid vacation. Then Bobby discovers this Tiki Idol at a construction site, and he takes it on as a good luck charm. The bad luck and misfortune ensues. The idol is believed to be taboo and bring bad luck to some of the locals, leading to a series of misfortunes for the Bradys. To start with, Alice, the maid, throws her hip out, hula dancing. And then Greg has a surfing accident. Then, of course, Peter had a tarantula crawl on his chest in the hotel room. So the Brady Boys, with guidance from a local, learn that they need to return the idol to its original resting place. While trying to return the idol, the Brady Boys encounter a professor who believes the cave and the idol belong to him, leading to a tense situation where they are held hostage. Another example of tiki culture and magic intermingling with popular culture is the TV series Gilligan's Island. So there's the obvious comparison of escapism to a tropical island between Gilligan's Island and tiki culture. Gilligan's Island, while often seen as a comedic sitcom, can also be interpreted as a vehicle for escapism. The show's premise of a group stranded on a deserted island provides a safe fictional space for audiences to momentarily escape their own problems and responsibilities. The humor and lightheartedness further enhance this escapist quality. Similar to what tiki culture is, the idea of escaping to a tropical island. The deserted island is a simplified environment, free from many of the complexities and anxieties of modern life. And then, of course, this is the ultimate male fantasy of being stranded on a desert island. There's the two beautiful women, the glamorous movie star, and then, of course, Marianne, the beautiful girl next door who makes coconut pies. This is a pure male fantasy. This reason is the same reason that tiki culture is so popular. There's actually a specific Gilligan's Island episode called It's Magic, where magic and the tiki culture escapism fantasy intermingle. The episode It's Magic starts off with Gilligan reeling in a crate of magician's tricks that should help the castaways convince any headhunters that they have magic powers. Ginger reveals that she started out in show business as a magician's assistant and teaches the others a variety of tricks involved. Midway through, Gilligan overhears the others criticize him for ruining their breakfast and volunteers for the disappearing cabinet trick, and really vanishes. Determined to stay in his own one-room cave as the lone wolf, he refuses to rejoin the others, with Mr. Howell too being forced to apologize and give up his prized teddy bear. Oscar Wilde once said, "The secret of life is to appreciate the pleasure of being terribly, terribly deceived." Many tiki bars have a mermaid theme. And what could be more magical than a mermaid? A mermaid is a mythical sea creature typically depicted as having an upper body and a head of a woman and the tail of a fish. They are a reoccurring theme in folklore and mythology across various cultures, often associated with water, the sea, and sometimes supernatural or magical powers. And again, this plays into the escapism of tiki culture and male fantasy. Mermaids are always extremely beautiful, and they're associated with not just the sea, but mostly tropical places and mysterious places, which are associated with the escapism of tiki culture. One of the best tiki bars that have a mermaid theme is the Sip and Dip in Great Falls, Montana. So the Sip and Dip Lounge is a tiki bar in Great Falls, Montana, opened in 1962 when Polynesian themes were popular. It has survived to present day with its tiki theme intact. Located inside the O'Hare Motel, that was considered modern and trendy at the time it was built, the Sip and Dip is known for having people dressed as mermaids swimming underwater in an indoor swimming pool visible through a window in the bar. Decorated with a bamboo ceiling and a South Seas theme, the bar featured Patricia Piano Pat Spoonheim, noted for her unique jazzy style, who played piano there from 1963 until her death in May 2021. The mermaid concept was introduced in 1995 when there was a revival of the tiki fad and was the brainchild of the bar's current owner, who wanted to add a fun factor. It became popular, particularly for Montana, a landlocked northern state where tropical tiki theme is unexpected. Beginning in 2003, the bar began to gain prominence outside of Montana when the magazine GQ listed the lounge in its top 10 bars in the world, ranking it as the number one bar worth flying for. The bar usually employs 6 women who wear mermaid outfits designed and handmade by the bar's manager, Sandra Johnson Thayers. Mermen were brought back in 2016, having previously appeared on occasion from the late 1990s to 2004. Celebrity patrons of the Sip and Dip have included actors Nick Nolte and Daryl Hannah, who reprised her portrayal of a mermaid in Splash by swimming in the pool while wearing a mermaid tail. Both actors signed the glass, though their autographs were lost years later when the window cracked, forcing the pool to be drained and repaired and a double pane glass replaced with a triple pane version. The establishment features a glass wall behind the bar looking into an indoor swimming pool where swimmers can be seen underwater. It is located inside the O'Hare Inn. The concept of the swimming pool design so that the underwater swimmers can be viewed from inside the bar was original to the building, as the person who built the O'Hare had been inspired by a similar design he saw when visiting the Playboy Club in Chicago. When built in the 1960s, the O'Hare Inn was considered swank and modern, and the tiki concept was popular in part due to the then recent admission of Hawaii to the United States as a state. The tropical theme was also viewed as a fun concept for Montana, a landlocked state with cold winters. During the 1990s, the idea of having mermaids swim in the pool during evening bar hours was the brainchild of the bar's general manager. The Sip and Dip was called a Polynesia on the Plains in 2013 by CBS Sunday Morning. In 2003, the magazine GQ listed the lounge as the top 10 bars in the world, ranking it as the number one bar worth flying for. Frommer's travel guide calls it one of the kitschiest, wackiest, and flat-out coolest night spots, not just in Montana, but the entire West. In 2014, USA Today ranked the Sip and Dip as one of the 10 best tiki bars in the United States. In 2016, it came in second to the Club Moderne in Anaconda in the national contest by the National Trust of Historic Preservation for the title of America's Favorite Historic Bar. In 2017, a New York Times article was called "Welcome to the Campiest Place on Earth," it as a kitsch-tastic tiki bar. In 2021, Artful Living declared it one of the 5 most extraordinary bars in the world. And of course, I've been there hundreds of times. In fact, we had my brother's stag party or bachelor party at the Sip and Dip. We went there during the day after a round of golf, and on a dare, my brother actually got in the tank and swam around. When it comes to magic, levitation negates gravity, appearance and disappearance contradict the law of conservation of mass, penetration violates the law that two things can't be in the same place at the same time. These are things that we just know through our experiences and make the world go round. We rarely think about these laws, yet we owe the smooth function of our lives to the fact that all matter on Earth obeys them. Imagine trying to walk around the Earth's gravity fluctuated depending on the day, or trying to keep track of your things if they could vanish and reappear elsewhere on their own accord. Magic happens when those inviolable laws that govern how matter behaves seem to be challenged. Natural laws are so universally true that when we see something contradicting them, we respond not just with surprise but with wonder. Wonder overlaps with the awe, and both emotion elicit a similar wide-eyed, jaw-dropping expression. But unlike awe, which has both positive and negative strains, wonder is nearly always used to describe a joyous feeling. It often arises when we find ourselves in new surroundings, which helps explain why travel can be so magical. Of course, Tiki culture is based on the idea of traveling to a magical place. The whole concept of going to a tropical location is the basis for Tiki culture itself. Magic can be captivating, sparkling, and sublime. But what makes it so compelling is that it ruptures the membrane between possible and impossible, igniting our curiosity about the world we live in. Wonder is a marvelous word to describe our response to magic because it is both a noun and a verb. We feel wonder, which is a noun. It prompts us to wonder, which is a verb, and then go back in search of an answer. It pulls us forward into learning and exploration. The joy we find in magic stems from a deeper impulse towards the expansion of the mind and the improvement of the human condition. As the English writer Eden Phillpotts once wrote, "The universe is full of magical things, patiently waiting for our wits to grow sharper. Wonders never cease as long as we are willing to look for them." Thanks for watching another episode of Chappie's Tiki Bar. I'm Chappie and this is Mookie. What's that, Mookie? Mookie says life is hard. That's just the way it goes, but sometimes it goes the other way. See you next time on Chappie's Tiki Bar.